I want you to get together.
Hello everyone. So I'm driving to my mother's house because last night my dog, our family dog, Poppy, a Jack Russell Terrier, passed away. Her bone marrow had failed and she basically died of hypoxia, I guess, lack of oxygen getting around the body because she wasn't producing any red blood cells. So I got a call at 8 PM last night from my mum saying she's calling the emergency vet. I say, okay, I'm coming straight around, and I get there 3 minutes too late. She'd already died. So that was a pretty horrible experience last night, but I've woke up this morning and I've decided to go back round now to see my mum because she's not dealing very well, as you can imagine. And also because Poppy's body's about to be picked up at 11 PM, so it's 9 PM for me now, and I want to be there when that happens. And then to top it all off, we find out this morning, me and my wife, that me, my son, and my wife have been separated from one another on our flight tomorrow when we go on holiday for 2 weeks. So now we have to find that as well, and it's just one thing after another, you know. And I've got to a point now where a pigeon just flew in front of my car. I had to stop to get out of the way. But yeah, it's just one thing after another. So, you know, I'm making this video now to let you guys know I am going away for 2 weeks. And I won't be making any live shows. And the content you're going to see me posting for the next 2 weeks is going to be patron releases that have been building up over the past 3 months. So after show talks with loads of guests that have been on my channel, where I've done big 2-hour interviews with them. I always do an after talk, which is usually about 20 minutes to 40 minutes, where we talk about things which you know, we may not necessarily have discussed during the live show. So those will be being released for the next 2 weeks until the 20th. But also I've spattered into it, you know, here and there, new videos which have been pre-recorded of me just rambling about certain topics as well. So there will be some new content in between as well. And I've also cut up a few clips from previous live shows of pertinent things that were said, which I thought were quite good and worth sharing. So they'll be released as well. So expect that over the next 2 weeks from my channel. I do also want to let people know who are maybe new to my channel. I think there's a bit of confusion. I think that people don't realise that I talk about many other things other than just the clown topic. Or perhaps you came at me from the Millennial Kingdom stuff as well, and you think that's all I talk about or don't talk about. All I want to say is, while I'm away, if you are interested, go through my back catalogue of all my old videos, because I'm not a content creator who makes topical videos that go out of date. Okay, all the videos I make are what YouTube deem evergreen content. It's valuable and can be listened to any time of the year, in any year, and you will still get value from it. It's applicable to any time. It's not time sensitive content. So you can go back and go to the playlist tab on my channel, and you'll find a playlist there called Exposing the Occult. You'll find another one called Random Ruminations. You'll find the Truth of Therapy Sessions, which is my podcast, my weekly podcast. You'll find the Nephilim Look Like Clowns playlist. You'll find a Millennial Kingdom playlist, and you'll find so much extra content on there discussing many conspiracy theories and topics that do branch away from the clown subject and the Millennial Kingdom subject if you're looking for more. So please go and check out the back catalogue if you haven't already, because I do get some comments where people are a bit confused, or I get people saying, oh, all this guy does is talk about clowns, I wish he'd talk about something else. And you have to understand, I am the author of the book, which is about to be published in a month, for the Nephilim Look Like Clowns. So you are going to get a lot of content based on that on this channel, and that's kind of going to be unavoidable. But I know it's not to everyone's liking, and I am first and foremost a conspiracy theorist about any and everything involved in this culture. I am not a one-trick pony. I do talk about other things. So please check out that back catalogue if you haven't already. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised about the stuff I've talked about on there. It's really a broad spectrum, and I do cover random things as they happened as well in the culture here and there. But I would say 98% of my content is non-time sensitive. It's evergreen. Okay, so go check that out if you haven't already, guys. But just to cap this off a little bit, I do want to talk about other things as well. And I've been thinking about a lot of topics lately, and I've been thinking about the Millennial Kingdom topic quite a lot, and I've been covering it for a while, maybe since September last year, and I've been trying my best to get as many guests on who have their own take and opinions on it, and their own worldviews and their own angle to tackle the subject from, because it's relatively fresh to the minds of the YouTube conspiracy world, coming out of the Tartarian research and trying to find an alternative Christian explanation for all this stuff. And so it's fresh and new, and I've tried to be on the vanguard, the forefront of that wave, to get this information out to people and get more people thinking about it and speculating so they can offer their opinions, And I do feel like I may be coming to a bit of a slowdown with this topic. So maybe you can expect a little less on this coming from me now, because I feel like I've said a lot. And I'm not sure how much more I can say without repeating myself. Or unless you guys want me to keep repeating myself, I tend to do that anyway, so maybe I will keep going on about it. But it's one of those subjects where it's not going away, is it? This is going to grow. It's going to get much, 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 much bigger. And more people are going to start speculating and thinking about it. I'm going to release a video soon, which is about the backlash we're beginning to experience as creators around this topic. There's already been a few big YouTube channels out there who have started to attack people like me and other content creators because we are pushing, this false doctrine of devils type of attitude, and this is the great deception, and these people are the forefront of that greatness. We've got a lot of that coming our way now, and it's sad because we are literally just a bunch of people on YouTube, who have an opinion and say it out loud. But the reactionary movement to this, people just thinking about this topic, has started to become apparent. And there are big YouTube channels who have based their foundation on tribulation theology, who are not happy about the current state of affairs with people like us coming around and shaking things up. So I am releasing a video discussing that. But I guess in a way that's kind of what I want to talk about as well. I want more people to get involved. I think more people should share their thoughts and feelings on this, pro and cons, for and against. I'm open to all discourse and debate on this, absolutely, because we are just trying to figure it out. And I did not intend to become some kind of leader on this topic. I'm not saying I am the leader. I'm not. I was one of many voices, but I became a quite prominent voice suddenly because there wasn't many people talking about this, especially not in the Christian community, and it does feel like there has been a big revival in Christian conspiracy content off the back of this, which is great. Because when I took my 5-year break, and it was a forced break, by the way, when my workplace forced me to come off of YouTube because they found my channel and thought it might be offensive to the staff. Okay, for those 5 years, prior to that, the Christian conspiracy theorist community was booming. It was large. It was a large voice in the conspiracy contingent online. And when I came back after 5 years, at the start of 2023, it was gone. It was silent. There was hardly any Christian conspiracy theorists out there in any obvious capacity. They were still around, but many of the channels had just disappeared, and many of the content creators had literally died. I.e. Rob Skiba, for example. I think even Michael Heiser died, long ago. So it's getting a bit sad, and quiet. It got very quiet after those titans of the conspiracy Christian community less sadly left us. And I am not a Rob Skiba replacement or a Michael Heiser. Okay, that's not what I'm going for there. Not even close. You know, again, I'm literally just some guy who doesn't know how to shut up. And I make videos about my rambles and rants. Okay, but I've been getting messages from people telling me I have revived the conspiracy Christian community, and if that's true, all glory to God. Thank God that's happened. I'm glad I can play some small part in that happening. I am, you know, but I think there's been so many hard-working channel content creators doing far better than me, way more work than I have, much better content than I have, much higher quality, with a fresh attitude as well. You know, coming at it all guns blazing, all out, on fire for the Lord type of thing. And you know, I'm not going to lie, as much as I love Jesus and God, I'm tired. I've been in this game for a decade, you know, and I've seen things come and go plenty of times, and I've watched the movement change, and I've watched the people come and go and die, you know, and I've watched the new people join, and I've seen bad ideas continuously be perpetrated or injected or getting a hold of people. I've seen the rise of Gnostic corruption. I've seen the rise of the New Age perspective melding into some sort of weird hermetic esotericism, and I've seen that start to dominate the culture as well. And I've been trying to push back with the Christian perspective as best I can, while also trying to unite people together into some cohesive movement, so people can realise that we're not each other's enemies truly. You know, and there is an answer to all of this through Jesus Christ and the Bible. I've tried, but you know, I'm tired. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. And as I've grown, as the channel has grown, people have come at me pretty hard. The enemy has truly put me in their crosshairs, and it's been shocking, actually, the sides of people I've started to see from many places. You know, it's shocking what people are capable of, and how some people actually behave when they feel like their paradigms are being attacked. Or I've also seen how literally the enemy works and the tactics they use, and it's brutal in many ways. It's psychological in many ways as well. It's pure psychological warfare is how this works. You know, again, I'm tired. I'm glad, however, that there's fresh blood in the game now when it comes to the conspiracy angle from the Christian perspective. This is a war that never ended. We just lost a few generals along the way, you know, and I feel like the soldiers have been a little bit scattered and unable to consolidate and have any direction. And if I can play a minor role as some lieutenant in that rather than a general, then great, you know. But it's interesting to see where this is going. And the Millennial Kingdom topic really does shift everything, like in a big way. In a good way, I would say. Because finally it means we can drop the distractions that have been thrown at us from false tribulation narratives and scripts that the media is playing towards us to try and convince us that we're about to be raptured or end times tribulation is about to come upon us, when truly it may have already happened. You know, and that means if we can get to grips with what that means and tackle that situation, then maybe we can become something better, something more cohesive, something useful in waking people up and bringing them to Christ, more so already than the wonderful job people have been trying to do over the past 2 decades, you know, since the advent of the internet. Because it's a new landscape. Okay, the evangelical door to door in the streets, talking to people, deliverance, all those type of things, they're great and they had their time and place, and they still do have a time and place, but the landscape has shifted now. And your audience, the people we're trying to reach, they're not in the streets really anymore. They're online. They're on these type of platforms. They're here on YouTube, you know. or on TikTok or Instagram or Twitter or whatever platform you want to do, you know, and that's where we need to meet them. We need to meet them where they are. And that also means that, in a way, though the gospel never changes, we need to change how we get it to them. You know, what has worked in the past may not work anymore, and as people fall further and further away from God because of just how corrupt this world is getting, you know, just how further and further from God Satan is taking this little season, we need to be a light in this darkness, I suppose. We need to make sure the light we have is bright enough for people to see and get to, and we have to meet them where they're at. And I hope I've done that. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go and say goodbye to my dog. And I'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks for listening, guys, and as always, God bless.
I want you to get together.